Hello, welcome to my second sketchbook crawl video. This is my second sketchbook and I finished it today. So I essentially finished this one in 3 weeks. So let's start. I went with weekend sketchers to the IBM Plaza in Midtown Manhattan. They have beautiful bamboo trees and it's open to the public. You can just go in and sketch. Here's another view looking towards the trash cans in a cafe that is in the plaza, Atrium. This is in the Walter Reed Theater at Lincoln Center. I was waiting to go in to see the movie 1900, I believe. This is in my neighborhood in Jackson Heights, looking at the building across the street, which has a lot of beautiful brickwork on it, and also a very bizarre tree. You can see we have high 6-story buildings, and we also have small buildings as well, attached mostly. This is at the Barrymore Theater. I went there to see the Band's Visit play on Broadway. Our theaters are very beautiful. This is with the weekday sketchers. We went to the Natural History Museum and I was not very happy with this picture. It's so tight, and watercolor is more meant to let to be free, and so I'm always trying to do that. This is when I went to see Merrily We Roll Along by Stephen Sondheim. It's a high school in Midtown, right across the street from the theater. It's called the Jackie Kennedy Onassis High School for International Careers, and it was originally set up for children of immigrants to give them some education, and it also was one of the first places that offered night classes for adults. I really liked how I could get the tall buildings fading in the distance. This is actually in the theater at the Roundabout, and it's the stage before the show for Merrily We Roll Along. And they would just pull out props as the play went along. This is a very free painting of riding on the F train, one of the trains I take a lot. Having my dinner one night at Chian Famous in Greenwich Village, looking out the front window at some of the scenery in Greenwich Village. Our weekday sketches actually went up to the Hudson River Museum in Yonkers. We took the train up. It's built at the site of a very old mansion from the Victorian era, and then there's a modernist building in front of it. I really like the cars and the shadows in this little traffic circle up front, and that's the river, Hudson River, and New Jersey off in the distance. I actually walked down to the river, and this is an abandoned power station, and you can see way off in the distance is the George Washington Bridge and New York City, the towers of New York City. This is looking downriver. When you look upriver, you can see the Tappan Zee Bridge, which I also put in a helicopter. Oh, and now that I think of it, I really like this plane up in the sky. This is when we went to take the train to go back to the city. You can see the tracks of Metro North. There's some sort of industrial building on the river, and the George Washington Bridge in the back. This is the lobby of the Algonquin Hotel, famous for Dorothy Parker, and has a lot of crown molding there and a piano in the middle. You can actually go in there and have snacks or dinner. Another theater, this is the Imperial Theater, which was built in 1926. We went to see a musical called Ain't Too Proud, the history of the Temptations. It was a lot of nice music and dancing. This is the daffodils are out in Bryant Park, and these are buses coming up the 6th Avenue. This is on 42nd Street. This is another view of the Algonquin Hotel, and you actually can see this is a portrait of a very famous cat who sort of had a little throne in the lobby, lived there for many, many years. I didn't see him anymore lately. So this is a shopping mall, like I guess you call it an old mall, which has lots of little stores. Which is, if you go a few blocks north of my house, the housing turns to attached homes, and it's more suburban right here in the city. The thing that makes it special is the planes coming to LaGuardia come right in, right over this parking lot, so they get really close. This is a lobby of another movie theater. It's called the Metrograph, which is way down on Ludlow near Canal Street. They have a very interesting collection of antique chairs and sofas and things to sit in the lobby, which caught my eye. This is on 5th Avenue. I like the contrast of the Gothic structure with the high-rise apartment buildings on 5th Avenue. Got a nice plane in this one too. And I like the tree. It gives it a little touch of something living. This is the last two in this. Our urban sketchers went to the to the Metropolitan Museum, and we were in the Native American special exhibit, and I was sort of collecting designs. This was another one from the Native American. This pot really spoke to me, as did the weaving in this rug. However, I'm not very satisfied with this in terms of watercolor, because watercolor should flow, so I actually saved two to show you that I like better. This is from a cabaret I went to. It's called Sony Hall, and we went to see the Calloway sisters, Liz and Ann Hampton Calloway, and I just slapped it on. That's the kind of way I like to paint. Except then you can't understand what's in the picture, so there's that conflict. And there's one more. This is at the Alliance Francaise. We went to see a movie with my friend Carmen. This is drawn as a young Gerard Depardieu, but this is another example of slapping on the paint and enjoying that freedom. So that concludes my second sketchbook. Thanks for watching.